Hey guys, Smelling Roses here, and today I just want to show you guys a little project that I've been working on. Alright guys, so for years when I'm out on the trail hiking or backpacking and I get to camp or I get to a place where I want to stop and take a break, if I don't want to just throw my pack down on the ground, I'll just take a single piece of paracord like this with a little loop wrapped in itself on the end. Simply tie it around a tree. Doesn't have to be too tight. Then I just take a carabiner, hang it right on the rope, and then here I can hang my pack or any other piece of gear that I want to hang. Now, an alternate method would be to take the same piece of paracord, loop it back on itself to create a little loop, and then the same procedure. Tie it around the tree. Again, it doesn't have to be too tight. And now I have a little loop here. Hang my carabiner right on the loop. I always keep a piece of paracord about 3 or 4 feet long in my pack. Tie a knot on the end, a loop on the end, as you see here. And as I demonstrated at the tree, I've been using this method for years. It works well, and I expect I will continue to use it. I wanted to show you guys that single piece of paracord and what I use it for, primarily for stringing around a tree to hang up a pack or other gear. And that's sort of my backstory to this project, or my philosophy of use, if you will. You can see I have something totally different in front of the camera now. And I'll just say, enter my friend Dave from the HighCarbonSteel Love channel. You guys should really check out his channel. He has a ton of awesome videos, and in one of his recent videos, or actually in several of his recent videos, he was showing us how to make his braided paracord Ridgeline, which I guess he primarily uses for his Ridgeline on tarps, but of course it has many other uses. And I really liked it. It was a very cool looking project, and I said I'm going to make one myself, but of course I don't do hammock camping and I rarely string up a tarp, so my use will be different. And so now this short cordage here is not my actual project. I sort of made this as a test run. You can see I have a braided paracord. This is actually 2 pieces of paracord along with an old lace out of a boot. So it's an old boot lace and 2 pieces of paracord. Again, this is just a test run, but I made this loop, and you can see how it's braided together. And in Dave's video, he shows you how to make this loop, so no need for me to go into that. I suggest you check out his video. But he makes a loop. His loop is bigger than mine, but he makes a loop, braids it together, and I guess his Ridgeline is probably, I don't recall if he mentioned it in his video or not, but I'm sure it's probably 25 or 30 feet long, maybe longer. And that's what you would certainly need for stringing a tarp. So Dave's Ridgeline is much longer than what I've made here, and I think he made a loop on one end, and then on the opposite end he just tied it off. What I wanted was to have a loop on both ends, and I followed Dave's instructions for making the paracord loop on one end, and on the other end I've simply put this metal ring and tied it on with an overhand knot. This is a pretty cool and handy little piece of gear. You can put the 2 loops together like this. Maybe run a carabiner through there like that. You can choke it, such as this, either one. You can certainly run either one through if you want to choke up on it. But again, this was just a test. I actually wanted something much bigger than this, but this turned out pretty cool, and I probably will keep it and use it. But let me show you the main project. Okay guys, check it out. Here's my finished project. This is a total of just over 5 feet in total length. And you can see on one end, I do have the braided loop. This is 3 strands of paracord 2 strands of tan and 1 strand of kind of a red and black. The tan is mil-spec paracord, but I'm not sure about the red and black. I don't think it is. But anyway, 3 strands together. You can see I've created a loop on one end and braided that together, again as per Dave's instructions. Now, as I was braiding this, I sort of got the idea that I would like to integrate an additional loop. So, you can see about 1.5 feet down, I have braided an additional loop into the line. And I did that just by following the same instructions. I created a separate loop, and once I had this part going, I went ahead and integrated it into the line. So I have an additional loop there. Again, this is about a little over 5 feet in total length, and I again put the metal ring on the end, and you can see I left a little extra there and just kind of did some crude whipping on the end. I did that because this is sort of a work in progress on the end. I may leave it just as it is. There's certainly nothing wrong with this, or I may want to do additional modifications in the future on this end. So I left myself some extra material there so that I can work with it in the future. So again, I have a little over 5 feet of line here and 3 loops, so it gives me a lot of capabilities. Again, I can put 2 loops together. I can choke either from the short end or from the long end. Can put a carabiner through these loops. I can tie it around a tree and loop back through this loop if I need to. Just a lot of different capabilities here. Alright guys, so if you don't know Dave over at HighCarbonSteel Love channel, definitely go check him out and get subscribed. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate all your views and support. Be sure to like my Facebook page, and you can follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. Thanks a lot guys, and I'll see you on the trail.